Howdy fellow model railroaders, my name is Kevin Brown and I want to thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. As you can probably guess from the title, I got another snow day, 2 in a row, who knew? As way of background, I worked for 26 years at Mitsubishi Motors North America. I was an assembly line worker and they never closed for weather, ever. So I would always be trudging off to the Arctic, and my wife, who worked at ISU even back then, would be sitting home warm and comfy and saying, I don't have to go today, have a nice day, dear. Well, this time I get snow days. Now, I've been at ISU for 3 years, and this is the first time they've canceled class and non-essential work for weather. But so I got a twofer, which means I'm going to have more time to work on my railroad projects. To add to this, my wife and a good friend of hers took off today for Berea, Kentucky for a crafting seminar going on down there. So I've got a wide open weekend to try and finish this project of the bridge. In addition, I've been invited Saturday morning to Alan Satkamp's Twin Cities and Western as an operator, and I'm really looking forward to that. And with any luck at all, if I can take some footage without disrupting the operating session too much, I'll hopefully have some of that to add to this as well. So that's kind of my plan. I'm going to show you, I'm at that point in the project that I have to do a step, let stuff dry, do a step. So I'll piddle around with that and show you the progress, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Thank you. Okay, here's the progress since last time we talked. I spent the night last night and glued all the portions together on the for the supports for the bridge. This is just sitting here. Let me get rid of this. I was holding that up. So these are all put together of the different parts, and I've got their spots marked on the module where they're going to go. So the next phase, I'm going to slap a little bit of paint on those because they're going to be mighty difficult to paint after I glue them into place. That should dry quick. There's no moisture in here. It's still 10 below zero outside, and it was 20 below overnight. So anyway, I'm going to work on that, and my plan is to put the paint on those two to affix those permanently to the module, and then go ahead and do what's necessary to put the backdrop on there, get that all done. And I think I need to do all that before I'll know absolutely the dimension of the bridge between here and here, so I won't start cutting any plastic until that's all nice and settled down. So I'm going to slap some paint on it and maybe glue it in place, and I'll talk to you when I'm done. Thank you. All right, the different supports are now painted. As you can see, they're all glued in place. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to run a few screws in from the bottom to make sure it's good and solid, but we'll see when the glue dries. So basically I'm waiting for this to dry, and then we'll start mounting the backdrop. Glue should be good and dry. I went ahead and clamped the backboard in place. Now I got to drill a few holes and hope everything holds together. Wasn't so bad. Okay, looks good. I'm going to tap these things into place. I don't know if that's going to be big enough. We'll get a hammer, be right back. Alright, all that's left is to tap these T-nuts into place and we should be ready to rock. Alright, T-nuts are hammered into place. Matter of mounting the skyboard. And now the carpentry for the bridge is completed. I'm going to go ahead and put the other skyboard back on and put it back on the layout and make sure there's no clearance issues. And with that, all the carpentry will be done for this, and now it's time to start building the plastic bridge to go from here to here. Okay, here's the module back in place. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of clearance here, not an issue. Same on this side. So I'm very happy with that. And I really like the way this is looking. So, next step is start working on the plastic. Well, first coming up with a plan, cutting plastic, and start working on the bridge. Alright, so it's time to start cutting some plastic. So back to my drawing. As you can see down here, I put a cross-section of what I thought the deck and everything would look like. So I went ahead and cut a piece of cardstock just to make sure that it would fit between my bridge supports I put on there, and then laid out the various parts. You can see the guardrail, the sidewalk, the median, the lanes of traffic, and everything seemed to look like it worked out okay. So right now I'm going to start cutting the deck and assembling that with the I-beams underneath. So that's next. Okay, here's the deck upside down, glued. You can see the 5 I-beams I used to cross. And just to show you, I used 0.04 thick styrene for the deck, and 1/4 inch I-beams, which ends up being, as I recall, 40 inches in end scale. So I'm going to let this dry for a little bit, then place it on, make sure everything fits. Alright, so there it is in place between the two supports, and with the platforms in place. Pretty happy with the way that's going. All that's left now is to put on the guardrails, the median, the sidewalks, that sort of stuff. I'm going to start working on that next. Okay, here's the plastic stock I used to construct my guardrails and for my median. The guardrails, you can see, are made of 2 1/4 inch by 0.080 plastic. And I also added a half-round piece on the top. I used my miter saw to scribe the lines in the sidewalk. I don't know if you can see them. It's being a pain. That's better. I hope those show up because they were kind of a bear to do. And I used Vinny's trick of gluing on the top part as is, and I'll trim it in a second. So that's how we got there. The median is just going to be a regular piece of the 1/4 inch stock. So I got to trim this and put it all in, and I want to glue it in place. That's the next chore. Here's all the parts in place on the bridge. You'll see that the guardrails and median I extended through the entire length. And all in all, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and glue this, let it set up. And that's pretty much going to be the end of this weekend's progress. I've ordered some plastic sheets that are rock, masonry, to cover up these spots here. I thought a masonry support would look pretty good. So I got to wait for that. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to paint this yet. But that's pretty much all I'm going to get done this weekend. I'm pretty pleased on everything so far. Now I'd like to add some footage. Went over to Alan Satkamp's Twin Cities and Western yesterday. Had a wonderful operating session. Mike Brashears was there. A good friend of mine from gaming, Chris Trimble, was there. He ran 3 2-man crews, and we all had a good time. Went about 3 hours of operating. So hopefully you'll enjoy this footage. Talk to you next time.
In fact, since the fellows are just moving info, let's see what the next food thing is, and that way, next 10, 15 minutes, if you want to run a train, you can, otherwise we can just sit and visit. This is my favorite locomotive. It's custom painted by a guy in rural Minnesota. He did a really nice job on it, and decals and such, and the Operation Lifesaver. And just I like the paint scheme on it. Red River Valley in Western is a sister railroad to the Twin Cities in Western, and their dispatchers are all up in Breckenridge, North Dakota. So that's my favorite.
So it's a nice one.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you too if you wanted more Operation Lifesaver decals made, if you need more.
I'll keep that in mind.
I know you said you got what you needed, but I didn't know if you needed more.
I'll keep that in mind. That's a good thing to know. All right.
I wouldn't mind taking just a little time to sit
Sure.
somewhere just to
Yep.
rest my hip.
You bet. I know on the layouts where they do not have, like we're, targeted forward, so we got the whole thing.
Yep.
Okay, now we're on.
Got a nice joint on it.
Yep.
Okay, we good to go?
We are good to go. Alright. From Buffalo Lake. So that's everything here.
Yes.
Sorry.
Are we're picking up, right? Or we're setting out?
So looks like we're picking
Hold the name here.
yeah, it's anybody else operating, so.
We're setting center.
Alright.
Walking across England for that.
Yeah, that's fine, they'll get over it. You set out the 12 that came down? That seems lovely.
No, we didn't set all of them out. We picked some up and spotted some, set them out here. What do those say? That's what
Yeah, this,
That's going to Granite Falls.
oh, these three are the pickups.
Are there any cars in your waybills that are set outs? In your bundle? Cause I thought we had set them out.
Set out, okay, Buffalo. Okay, here's, so we got, these are all Buffalo.
Okay.
I'll put these back in the pickup, sorry for those. Confused, alright. And the ruble. Yeah, okay, it's like half and half. Half are staying, or
Okay,
here,
and
half
that
are
makes
going to
sense.
ruble. So.
When you describe, yeah, we already had one, so how many cars?
The spout looks like one car, right?
That's okay.
The swap track is
Hmm?
I was just thrown off for a second.
Mhm.
That's the siding. That's
Are
the main.
you
I just
filled up
wanted to make sure I
inside?
didn't
It is a little different, isn't it?
Are those off spots
Yeah.
coming out of the building?
Those are going back in. We
Oh, okay. So we can shove both tanks into 6, couldn't we?
no, because they're.
Do me a favor and check your switches. I think I lined everything back up for you. That wouldn't be, it'd be in Montevideo would be the problem.
We'll put that one back. So, to relocate or put back. So, okay.
You can use 5 for the off spot if you want to, if you've got room.
Yeah, we should be
6
set.
is what you're putting the spot back on.
This one will go into 5. So, you just need to reverse these. So, you can go ahead and bring that ahead and then we'll just get it behind.
Now I'm changing out, so I have a new card for west, so in that section, if the lines that'll be going west, and I'll have this being hot piece.
Okay, so when the intermodal ties up in Hopkins, this card gets flipped over there. Okay, alright. Okay, so SHW goes.
First load, no pressure, just live loads, remember?
Mm-hmm.
No pressure, excuse me.
Yep, fine.
Oh, it's the grain or the quarry one. And just hold it there.
We were at a layout up, I think it was at Rock Rails, and the guy had wood chips. They were all live loads, and the track was right next to the fascia. And of course, when I turned, when one went, it just took the rest of them, and it all went everywhere.
Well, now I got a bell.
I have no idea if we're lined into the yard, and here I am playing.
You're going in there, kid.